Hello everybody, welcome again. Sorry for the break in transmission. Today we are going to talk about something that is very important that will benefit a lot of us. Emotional intelligence is very vast, it's very broad, and you could apply it in different areas of your life. So one very vital area that emotional intelligence is needed is in marketing. For those who are marketers, who are sales people, you have to go out to push a product or a service to the intended users, or you are in your own place of business and people coming to make purchases. You need this skill. You need to have the skill of emotional intelligence. So we are going to go to the topic is closing the deal with emotional intelligence. Now, remember, emotional intelligence is about understanding your emotions, understanding the emotions of others, making use of this knowledge to influence them to make the purchase that you know will be useful to them. Using the emotions that you understand, your own emotions and their emotions, to make decisions that will benefit, of course, you and the person. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. Now, using it in marketing now means you have a product or a service that you believe will be useful to that person or that company, or or that group of persons, and you're trying to get this product across to them. Using emotional intelligence, you can ensure that these people make the purchase that you intend for them to make. I'm going to be giving us steps to close a deal. How you know a deal has been closed is when money is exchanged for that product or service. Now, I'll give you some steps. Let's go straight into it. The first step is to work on your mind. A lot of people go out there to market their products without actually working on their mindsets. They go out feeling that it's not everybody that this product is for. Now, let me correct that impression. If somebody meets you, walks up to you to ask, how much is this? Let's say you own a furniture store, or you work in a furniture store, and somebody comes in and says, wow, I like this chair, how much is this chair? That person has the ability to make that purchase. Have that in mind. Tell yourself, everybody has the ability to make a purchase. If it's that important to them, for them to make that inquiry, that means they need it and they can make that purchase. Tell yourself this: everybody that I'm going out to meet, they can make a purchase. Because when you tell yourself that some people may not be able to do this, you've already limited yourself, you've already reduced your target audience, you've already reduced the people that product is for, and it's not going to be good for you. This helps you, opening your mind, broadening your perspective, helps you to broaden your target audience, broaden your reach, meet different people. Another thing it helps you to do is to not underestimate the buying capability of your potential clients, whoever it is you're meeting. This is one very big mistake that a lot of marketers have made that have cost them big deals. You go out there and you see somebody, probably because of the way he dresses, the way he talks, the kind of car he drives, you assume that he can't make that purchase. No, don't do that. Don't look at somebody and judge his financial ability. Don't confuse somebody's fashion sense with the person's financial ability. Don't. There are a lot of people that have, tell you stories of how they went out and the person that they assumed couldn't make that purchase was the person that made them to meet their targets. Even if someone comes into your store, I've had a lot of stories where people, someone walks into your place of business and asks about a particular product, and after looking at the person, you just assume that this person can't use this, and immediately just give the person a price. And I've heard someone say, immediately I gave him an outrageous price, and immediately he just said okay, and then made the purchase immediately, and she was really surprised. So this shows you that a lot of people don't actually dress according to the amount of money they have in their accounts. Some people don't. Some people don't buy very expensive cars. Some people don't. They prefer to just, they are conservative, use what is available to them at that point and not go all out. But if they believe that they need something, they need that thing that you're selling, sell it to them. Don't underestimate anybody. That is the first thing. The second one is do your research. It's very important you do your research. you're supposed to research on the person and research on your products, research on your markets and research on your product. Now let me start with the product. You have to research your products. Yes, I know you work there. Of course, you know what this is used for. You know what this blender is used for. But it's very important that you know the uses of your products in and out. Don't allow a customer to tell you something about the product that you didn't know. That's embarrassing. Knowing your product inside and outside, up, down, knowing the functions of the product, even knowing the places where the products are not very effective, the malfunctions of the product are also important. You need to know how your product functions. Is it supposed to be kept in hot places? Is it supposed to be kept in cold environments? How does it work? Where's the on button? Where's the off button? Understand your product. Know your product. If it's a service, what time do the cleaners come? When do they start? What equipment are they bringing to your house? Know everything about that thing you're selling. Don't allow a question that allow somebody to shock you with a question. It will be really embarrassing, and sometimes it throws you off balance, and then you're rattled for a while, and that person that is supposed to buy will become apprehensive, like even the salesperson doesn't know about the product. Why should I buy this? Know your product, and then also know your target audience. Know what they need. If you're going out to go and meet, let's say it's target marketing, and you're going to a particular organization to sell them a particular service, find out what the organization does. Find out what they need, how much they need this your service, so that when you go there, you have everything intact. You know what you're going to say to them. Now, if it's someone that comes into your office, sometimes you may not have the ability to just, you may not have had time to research on them and know what they want. If it's an individual, you may not know what he does for a living. You may not know how many kids he has, if he has a wife, if he has a home somewhere else. You may not know all those details about him. That's why it's very important to be able to read your customer within the first few seconds of meeting him. You should be able to read. I will share with you a color-coded thing that I use. I've seen is very vital in reading my clients. Like, I can read my clients the first few seconds that I interact with them. I know what their temperaments could be. So I will share this with you in the next video. I'll share that with you because it's going to take a while. That will help you to, when you meet somebody, you already know this person's personality. So with that personality, you know how to start a conversation. There are certain things that you say, and then a conversation starts between you and the customer, and before the product even is mentioned, you already have a certain rapport with that customer. So I'll share that with you in the next video, but let's finish this up. Then the subsequent video, then you put the two together, and you become an excellent marketer. Now you understand your customer, research on your customer and also on your product, so that you will know what your customer needs. You will know the kind of person he is, and you use that to start your conversation, and use that to ensure that he makes that purchase. You can say, sir, I this chair, this maybe someone comes in to find out about a set of chairs, and then you tell him, sir, this chairs will cost 2.5 million. And he's surprised, and he says, this is so much. Why should I buy this set of chairs for 2.5 when I could go to ABC store and buy it at 1.8? Looking at him, if you have accessed him when you first met him, and you see that he's someone who likes quality, he's someone who wants to be among, he wants to be among his friends, he wants it to be that he's among those that have the most expensive things. You first of all start with that tug on his pride. Oh sir, these chairs, imagine how this will look in your parlor when your friends come for a meeting. You mentioned about your alumni, how they come for your house to your house for a meeting every 6 months. Imagine them walking into your house and they see these cushions. This is going to be so amazing for you. You use something about him to ensure that he makes that purchase. That's what it's about. That's what research does for you. Now, talk intelligently. That's the third point. It's very important that you talk intelligently. um, there are some people that when they go to make a purchase and the person, they don't feel like there's a connection with the person doesn't talk smartly, they can leave that product and go to somewhere else. And talking intelligently also, it's also as a result of the research that you have done. So you have a lot to say about the product, you have a lot to say about the person, so you talk intelligently. The fourth point is, don't allow um the scene to be you all, talking and talking and talking. Allow for their feedback, allow for their concerns. Somebody is about to exchange some amount of money for a product or service. He has a right to say what his misgivings are about that product. He has a right to share his concerns, and you are obligated to listen to those concerns. Listen to him talk about, probably he has used that product before and it didn't work out, about the parts of it that were not functioning well. Listen. Don't be all your voice talking. This does that. Oh, wonderful! It is this. No, talk and keep quiet and listen. That's why it's communication, two ways. Communication goes, back and forth. You have to talk and then also listen. Ensure that you're hearing what he's saying. And as he's talking, some people have this thing where the customer hasn't finished expressing his concerns. You already have what you say to, against it. No, listen to it. And it's very important when you're listening. We have listening skills where your body language needs to show that you're listening. And somebody's saying, I don't even know, this product, as it failed my friend bought this thing about last year, and as at this time they're not using it again. And nod. It's very important you nod your head. Oh really? Add all those interjections. Wow, are you sure this happened? Oh no. Oh, add all those things so the person feels like he's really onboarding to somebody who is there to listen, who is willing to listen. So don't rush into your defense. Take some time, listen as he's talking about it. Even if it's not a complaint, even if it's um just a concern about how to fund the purchase, you could listen to them. Oh, I really want to buy this, but I don't have the money. Okay, what if oh hey, how do I do this now? So that's when you listen. Think for a while. I personally like when I communicate with somebody, the person is not giving me quick answers. I like when I can see that you put some thought into your answer. You paused for maybe a second or two, and then before you started giving me a response. I feel like you actually put my concern into consideration before talking. So such a person, if you have a payment scheme that will help, you can now say, okay, we can do this. You could pay 50% now and then share out the rest of the payment if you have such in your policy. That's the point that you bring it in. But ensure that every concern is addressed respectfully and with an understanding nature. Just respectfully answer and understand every concern that your customer brings before you. Even if the person is still a potential customer, hasn't exchanged money yet, understand their concern. It's very, very important. After that, the next step is, you need to ask some implication questions. At this point, you need to move into the next step. You need to move into the purchase. So you ask questions like, would you like to make a transfer? Would you like the product delivered? How would you like it to be? You ask some questions like that. When would you like to make the purchase? Do I need to bring the POS machine? You ask some implication questions that show that we've come to the end and we're about to close the deal. Now sometimes you may not go into this point. Sometimes from from listening to them, getting their feedback, you might go back to number 2 and do 3 and 4 again. Sometimes also you may not close the deal on that same day. It might take some deals take a lot longer, take a week, 2 weeks to finalize bigger deals. So you need to understand the temperament that person is in before you seal the deal with those implication questions. You look at the person. Is the person ready? Judge by the person's the tilt on his neck, the questions that he asks. You need to know when to close the deal. You don't just ask those. Sometimes those questions might throw the person off, and the person's like, ah, me that has not even finished deciding to buy this product, you're already saying no, no, no. Then it can throw the person off. So after you have listened to the concerns and you see the way the person is behaving, sometimes some people will want to say, okay, maybe you've answered their concerns, and then they want to say, no, I don't want to make this purchase again. Let me still browse, let me go around. So instead of, when you see that that's your responses were not convincing enough for that person, it's very wise for you to say, okay, sir, madam, I'd like to give you a few days to think about it. Will it be okay if I called you later in the week? That will make the person, not close the deal, not, end it at that point. Give the person some time to still go back and think about it. Don't let somebody leave your office or your place of business with that kind of impression that your product was not satisfying enough. Let it be that the person went to think about it, then you now have to now do some follow-up, to call the person, probably tell the person some more benefits of that product and all of that. But at that point, it's not every moment that you bring a product to a person that you have to close the deal. This skill is very, very important. It's important for you to know that it's possible that you go back in the series before you get to this fifth point. You go back to 2, 3, come down to 4. Do you understand? So you have to understand that the person may not be ready to make that purchase at that time. It's allowed. It is money. So you say, okay, sir, I'd like to give you some time to think about it. Will this be fine? And then he's like, oh, sure, yes. I even wanted to say that. You say, okay, fine, no problem. Can I call you in a week or 2? Or, you set a date. You can say, can I call you on Friday? Will 2 p.m. be okay? Set something, that doesn't leave it open. Don't leave it open. It's very important that you get a way that, this person knows that he's going to hear from you soon. It will be very, very important. Now, for those of them that you've talked to and they've gotten to the point where they are ready to make that purchase, you can say, for the next steps, it's good to find out what the next step is going to be. Just like I said, do you want the product delivered? How would you like to make your payments? Are you making payments in cash, or is it going to be a transfer? You go to the next step to know how to seal the deal at that point. Now, it's very important. This part of it is like a 6, number 6. But it's important that you know that if that deal wasn't sealed at that point, it does not mean you have lost that customer. Sometimes when marketers go out and they push a product or a service to a potential customer and the person doesn't buy at that point, like it has closed, that angle for them is closed. No. Based on the person's relationship with you, the person could refer someone to you. The person can come back later for that same product or service. So don't ever close the door. Don't ever close the door of a relationship with a client or a potential client. Don't ever close the door. Understand that that relationship has started and is going to continue. So you need to have a system where you follow up your clients and also people who could have been your clients. Have a way of following them up. Find out how their week has been. It could be a thank God it's Friday kind of message. It keeps you at the top of their minds. Don't allow any client or potential client to slip out of the system and you don't know anything about that person. It's very important that you have this in mind. That deal did not yield what you wanted, did not yield an exchange of money, did not yield a sale at that point. That's okay. It can yield tomorrow. Don't ever spoil a relationship just because you didn't make a sale at that time. Now, if you put all this together, I'm sure you will make a wonderful marketer. Be sensitive to the feelings of your customer. Be sensitive to their concerns. Listen, communicate with them, follow them up, and ask implication questions so that you can close the deal and have your sales. Thank you very much for listening, for watching this video. In the next video, I'm going to be telling you about the color codes for reading your customers or your clients and knowing their temperament and knowing how to deal with them. and putting these two videos together, I am really sure you're going to make an awesome marketer. Thank you.